The story begins in the year 1235. We see a Christian city where many people have gathered near a bridge. 3 women are about to be punished. These women have been accused of practicing black magic and worshipping Satan. This was a time when women were punished for such accusations. Soldiers put ropes around the necks of the 3 women. A priest, holding an old book, stands there and tells them that if they confess their sins, their souls will be forgiven. One of the women, who was crying loudly and begging for her life, says, "Yes, I confess that I worshipped Satan and tried to do black magic." The second woman says, "I only made and sold medicines, I never did black magic." But the third woman was not afraid at all. Looking at the priest, she says, "You will burn in hell." After this, all 3 women are hanged and their bodies are thrown into the water. After that, everyone present starts to leave. The priest then tells the soldiers, "We cannot leave them like this. We have to take these bodies out so that I can read spells from my years-old book to purify their souls." But the soldiers say, "They will not come back to life again," and they leave. The priest knew about this curse, so at night, he alone starts pulling the bodies out of the water one by one and tries to purify them by reading spells over them. The second body reacts a little and then becomes still. But when he is about to pull out the third body, the body is so heavy that the priest himself falls into the water. As he tries to get out of the water, someone starts pulling his leg inside the water. He comes up and sees that the third girl has come back to life and, in the form of a demon, burns his book with her foot and hangs the priest from the same bridge. The scene cuts here. After this, the story shifts to the year 1332, where we are shown that Christianity is spreading all over the world, and along with it, big wars are happening. 2 Christian warriors were also involved in these wars. These 2 were very good friends. One was named Perlman and the other was Felsen. Both were very powerful warriors and fought wars in the name of religion for many years. They had fought many battles and had never lost. In 1344, during the Battle of Smyrna, they attack a city and take control of it. But during this, a young innocent girl is accidentally killed by Perlman's sword. Seeing this, his heart melts, and he looks around to see that many children and women have been killed. He stops fighting right there. Perlman says that he had sworn to fight for God, not to kill children and innocents. But the Grand Master angrily replies, "You will do what the church wants. You are just a soldier. God's voice echoes in my ears." To this, Perlman angrily says, "Maybe that's not God's voice that's echoing in your ears." Perlman and Felsen decide to leave the church unit. The Grand Master threatens them, "You 2 cannot leave from here like this, you must fulfill your oath." But no one dares to stop them. Both leave that place and become fugitives because they had broken the rules of the church. After this, for a month, they keep looking for a new place for themselves. Then one day, when they were passing by the seashore, they find some cattle wandering without a herdsman. Further on, they see a house. When they go inside that house, it is empty. On searching the house, they find the owner of the house. A man and a woman are lying there in a bad condition, and her husband is found dead on the bed. Both had lost their lives due to a dangerous disease. Their whole bodies had been deformed because of the disease. Perlman and Felsen burn that house to prevent the disease from spreading. On the way, Felsen asks Perlman, "We have endured a lot, but what can a person do to avoid such a death?" Then they move forward and see a big city. Felsen says, "We might get caught, we shouldn't go to the city." But Perlman says, "We need food and good horses so that we can travel a longer distance." Both decide to go to that city. As soon as they reach the city, Perlman and Felsen see strange situations. The condition of the people here was very bad. Dead bodies were lying in the streets, people were crying, screaming, and begging God for forgiveness for their sins. Some people were even killing themselves. Felsen says, "What kind of madness is this?" Just then, a man standing nearby hears him and replies, "This is a plague, a disease that has no cure. This disease has been spreading here for the last 3 years. Because of this, 3 out of every 4 people are dying." The man's name was Iqbal. He asks them, "Who are you?" Perlman replies, "We are travelers and we didn't know anything about this." Both were Christian warriors, but no one recognized them. When they try to buy horses, a man sees Perlman's sword. This sword belonged to the knights. As soon as this news spreads, the city's soldiers get the news that these two are actually knights and have run away from the war. So the soldiers come to catch them. Perlman and Felsen fight with them, but in the end, both surrender. But instead of putting them in jail, they are brought to the king by the priest. The king had also become a victim of this disease and was lying on his bed. The king asks for their names, and hearing their names, he is shocked and says, "I know both of you. The stories of your victories are famous far and wide." After this, the king explains, "This plague is killing our people. Actually, it is a curse sent from hell. A witch has put it on us with black magic, and now that witch has been caught, and she herself has admitted it." The king further explains, "There is only one way to end this curse. The witch must be taken to the church in Sèvres. The monks there can end the curse." But Perlman says, "What do I have to do with all this?" The king says, "We cannot do this job, but if you help, the witch can be taken to Sèvres. Would you like to serve the church?" Perlman flatly refuses to do this job. After his refusal, the king puts both Felsen and Perlman in jail. There was also a girl in the same dungeon. When both of them see her, Felsen asks, "Is this the witch?" Perlman replies, "She doesn't look like a witch at all." At night, Perlman has a bad dream in which he is killing an innocent woman. When he opens his eyes, he sees that the girl who was crying has scars on her back as if someone had beaten her a lot. Seeing this, Perlman changes his mind. He decides to go on this mission not for the church, but for that girl, so that he can save her life. The next day, they meet the priest and say, "We will help you, but this girl will get justice and all the charges against us must be dropped." A famous soldier also joins them on this journey, and so does the priest. The priest has a map, but this was a very long journey and it passed through the mountains where the church was located. Perlman and Felsen could not rely on the map alone, so they look for someone who has been there before and has also come back, someone who remembers the way. The priest takes them to a man who was imprisoned for fraud. Perlman makes a deal with him, "If you take us to Sèvres, the charges against you will be dropped." He was ready for this. Now they set off on their journey. The priest and a soldier were with them, and so was a man to show them the way. They were going to take the girl in a buggy made of bars. When they go to the dungeon to get her, she attacks them, but Felsen knocks her unconscious and then they take her. As soon as they leave the city, the king also dies. While walking, the man who was showing the way was looking at the girl, so he asks the priest, "Can she deceive us?" The priest explains to him, "Focus your attention on something else, she is just trying to scare you." The guide asks, "How do you know that this girl is a witch and is the one who put the curse?" The priest says, "She was found in the village. She was saying some things that no one could understand, and as soon as she was brought to our city, the plague spread after 7 days. Wherever she went, the same thing happened there." The guide says, "We have not heard of any girl coming to our village, yet the plague came there." While walking, Perlman and Felsen also talk. Felsen says, "Someone is following us," so they decide to stop. When they stop, they catch him. Perlman takes off his mask, and the priest says, "This is a culprit who works for the king. His name is Ku." Perlman says, "It would be good for you to leave from here." But Ku says, "No, I want to go with you all. I want to serve all of you. In return, you will make me a knight." Felsen laughs at him, but then after some time, a fight happens in which he cannot defeat Felsen, but he fights him bravely. Perlman is impressed by this and includes him in this journey. Ku praises the battles fought by Perlman and Felsen. When Perlman goes to give food and a blanket to the girl, she tells him, "You are not like the others, you are a good person." Then she asks, "What will happen to me in Sèvres?" Perlman replies, "Justice will be done." Then the girl tells him a story. "In our village, a girl was accused of black magic. People filled her pockets with stones and drowned her in the water. They said that if this woman drowns here, she is a human, and if she doesn't drown, she is a witch. That girl did not drown, so people burned her alive. Perlman reassures her, "Nothing like that will happen to you." And at the same time, she points towards the priest. Perlman asks, "Did the priest hurt you?" The girl nods and says, "Yes." When Perlman comes back, the priest asks him, "What did she say to you?" Perlman says, "Why do you want to know?" The priest explains to him that he should not tell her his heart's secrets and should not believe her words. "She is very clever, she can make us fight among ourselves." Last night, Iqbal was talking about his daughter, and the witch heard that, and now look at the result. Then they stop in the forest to spend the night. The priest tells everyone, "We have to stand guard." So Ku stands guard. He was looking at the girl. After a few hours, when the priest comes to him, Ku says, "This girl looks like my daughter." Hearing this, the girl becomes sad. As soon as Ku was about to leave, the girl starts crying. She says, "Don't leave me alone with this priest." Ku asks, "Why are you afraid of him?" At that moment, the girl grabs Ku. To save him, as soon as the priest comes forward, the girl injures the priest's hand and takes the key from his neck and runs away from there. Hearing this noise, Perlman, Perlman, and Ku reach there. They ask the priest what happened, and the priest says that the girl ran away. They all go to the nearby village to catch her. The plague had also spread in that village. There were not many people there, and those who were sick. Then the girl tries to use her powers. As soon as she pushes Iqbal to be alone, she makes a voice like his daughter, which makes Iqbal think she is his daughter. He moves towards her, and Ku thinks that he is moving to kill her. He puts his sword forward, and because of this, Iqbal dies. Seeing this, Ku gets very scared and keeps saying, "What have I done?" They were not stopping, I told them a lot, but they were coming towards me calling me Mira Marth. In the meantime, the girl is also found. She cries and says, "Don't take me back. I had to run away from there because he used to do bad things to me." Actually, she meant her death. Everyone was very sad. The next morning, the girl is again imprisoned in the buggy, and they start their journey towards Sever again. But before leaving, the priest tells Perlman that he and the others should not talk about their private matters in front of the witch because she can use these things against them. Last night, Iqbal was talking about his daughter, and the witch heard that, and now look at the result. While walking, they stop in front of an old bridge made of ropes and wood. A man says that he had come here many years ago, then this bridge was in good condition, but now it has become very weak. It will be dangerous to cross it, especially when they have a heavy buggy. Still, they decide to cross the bridge and slowly move the buggy forward by tying it with a rope. During this, the bridge starts to break, and Ku narrowly escapes death, but the girl saves his life. Somehow, they cross the bridge, but as soon as they reach the other side, the bridge breaks completely. After crossing the bridge, they enter a dangerous forest where the path was not at all clear. They decide to spend the night in the forest. At night, Ku goes to the girl and thanks her for saving his life on the bridge. But at that moment, Perlman comes there. The girl starts talking to Perlman in such a way that Perlman starts to suspect her. In the middle of the night, Perlman wakes up because he was having a bad dream. On waking up, he sees a man standing near the buggy with a weapon. Perlman is shocked to see him and he says, "Because of this, we will all be killed. Kill her, get rid of her. No one will stop us." Just then, Perlman comes there and snatches the weapon from the man's hand. At the same time, the girl is listening to their talks, and suddenly, she starts making wolf-like sounds. Before anyone could understand anything, wolves attack them. At first, they all fight the wolves together and kill them, but they realize that a lot of wolves are coming towards them, so they all decide to run away from there. But while running, one of their companions becomes a victim, and they cannot save him. Perlman is very sad about this. The next morning, he decides to kill the girl, but the priest comes in between and says, "I will not let you do that." Perlman pushes him away. Just then, Perlman comes there and says to Perlman, "The destination is near, We have reached there. Perlman changes his mind and continues his journey towards the church. On the way, Perlman says, "When all this is over, I would like to go to the place where I was born." When they reach the church, they see that no one is present there. The priest says that this is the time for prayer, but when they go inside, they see that all the monks have died due to the plague. One of them has a little life left. He points towards the book of sermons and dies. Now the priest picks up the prayer book, and now he is the only one left among the priests. He tries to read some spells on the girl, but then the girl's real secret comes out. She starts telling everyone's past. Perlman realizes that he is trying to save the life of an innocent girl to hide his sins so that he does not go to hell. The girl says, "More people were killed in the wars fought in the name of religion than in the plague." Then the priest understands that this girl is not a witch, but her body is possessed by a demon. The priest starts performing the exorcism ritual on her, but the demon slowly starts to come into its real form. It burns all those bars and flies away from there and goes inside the church. Here, everyone understands that this demon actually wanted us to bring it to sever. This was the reason it killed Ku and the guide, because they were coming in its way. When these people reach the church, they see that all the monks there were dead. They had been making copies of the book for years because the demon could only be killed with this book. Now the book that the priest had was the last book in the world. The demon could be killed with it. Perlman tells the priest, "You have to fight this battle alone." Perlman asks, "Are we fighting the demon or saving this girl?" Perlman replies, "Both." When they go inside the church, the demon comes in front of them. Perlman tells the priest to start his exorcism process. The demon uses its powers and starts picking up things and throwing them at them. After some time, all the monks who were lying dead there disappear, and demonic powers possess their bodies. Now those people, as slaves of the demon, attack them. The priest is reading the book, but then the demon kills him. The book falls on the ground. Then Perlman comes and starts fighting the demon, but the demon burns him. Ku takes the book and starts reading it further. As soon as the demon was about to attack him, Perlman comes and stops him. He pins its two wings to the wall. The demon uses its powers and tries to kill Perlman, but he does not give up. When the spell is complete, the demon goes back to hell, and the innocent girl comes into her real form. In this fight, only Ku and the girl survive, everyone else is killed. They both bury all of them there. Then the girl thanks Perlman and his companions for saving her life and taking her out of the darkness. She walks away with Ku with hope, and the story ends here.